Yeah, watch the hand. Look at the left hand. Yep, it's a pull.
He definitely either dislocated or broke his toes or something.
Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today, we're diving into some of the most talked about stories in UFC right now. We've got Charles Oliveira's explosive response to Max Holloway, all the drama around Tom Aspinall's teammate at UFC Vegas 110, and Alex Pereira breaking the rules after his big foot injury. I'm breaking it all down so you get the latest info. So let's jump right into the action and make sure you stick around for the updates at the end. So, the beef between Charles Oliveira and Max Holloway just got way hotter. For anyone new to MMA, these two are big names. Oliveira, known as Do Bronx, is famous for setting records in the UFC lightweight division, especially for the most submissions and finishes. He's fought some of the toughest guys out there, and he's never afraid to chase after the toughest fighters. Here's the backstory. Oliveira and Holloway fought before, and Max won because Charles injured his neck during the fight. That led to some drama. Recently, Holloway went on his kick stream and brought up that old match, saying Oliveira sort of quit when he got hurt. Oliveira didn't let that slide. After his win against Mateusz Gamrot at UFC Rio, Charles called out Max directly, wanting a rematch for the baddest motherfucker title.
Hey Hunter, Charles Oliveira and Max Holloway, BMF. Let's make that happen.
Yeah, that's an actual UFC belt now, and Max is the current champ. Oliveira said, "If the fight isn't in Brazil, I'll fight anywhere. March is perfect for me. Let's do this in Hawaii or wherever Max wants."
Hey Hunter, Charles Oliveira vs Max Holloway, BMF. Vamos fazer acontecer essa.
Holloway reacted by saying he honestly hadn't watched Charles's last fight but saw the call-out clip. Now everyone is excited because a rematch would be super cool, especially since it's been 10 years since their first showdown. Both fighters have moved up in the UFC and have lots of fans rooting for them. What adds fuel to the fire is that Oliveira isn't afraid to put it all on the line. Even after bouncing back from a tough loss to Ilia Topuria earlier this year, he came back strong and proved he's still dangerous. Combining Oliveira's submission style with Holloway's striking power makes this a fight nobody wants to miss. For me, I love how it's not just about the fighting, but real competitive spirit and history. Both guys respect each other, but totally want to prove they're the best. UFC President Dana White is probably loving this because it's good for business and for fans like us. We can expect the trash talk and hype to get even bigger in the coming weeks. Since Holloway is recovering from a hand injury, he said March works for him. That gives Oliveira enough time to get ready. Whether Max and Charles battle in Las Vegas or Hawaii or somewhere else, you can bet all eyes will be watching. The only thing left is for the UFC to make it official.
Yeah, watch the hand. Look at the left hand. Yep, it's a pull.
Man, UFC Vegas 110 was wild. Tom Aspinall, who you know is one of the best heavyweights, had his teammate Ante D'Elia in the co-main event, and things got crazy. Let me walk you through what happened. D'Elia was looking really strong in his fight against Waldo Cortez Acosta, hitting hard and almost finishing the match. Then, during a wild exchange, there was a sudden eye poke. It was unintentional, but it stopped the fight for a bit. The ref and the officials reviewed everything. Super dramatic, right? After checking the video, they decided there wasn't enough to stop the fight completely, so D'Elia and Cortez Acosta kept going. But after the break, it was like things totally flipped. Cortez Acosta came back with a vengeance and landed a huge left hand. D'Elia went down, and Salsa Boy, which is Cortez Acosta's nickname, chased him to finish, ending the match in a wild KO. I'm not kidding, this was the kind of knockout you see on the highlights for weeks. To make things even heated, D'Elia felt he was robbed. He posted online and even gave interviews saying the fight was unfair. He wanted the UFC to fix the rules and make sure other fighters don't face the same disappointment. The eye poke messed up the flow, and when a fight is stopped and restarted, it can change everything for a fighter. D'Elia just wanted honesty and fairness, and his message was really strong about respecting the sport. So, was it a fair win? Some fans say yes, because KO is a KO. Others think the interruption gave Cortez Acosta more time to recover. Right now, all anyone can agree on is that UFC Vegas 110 gave us some unforgettable moments, whether fans loved the result or not. Tom Aspinall, for his part, has been pretty chill about it, not making too much noise, but he's still supporting his teammate, and both guys are set to keep pushing in the heavyweight division. I think Ante Delija will come back stronger, especially since fighters always learn a ton from dramatic fights like this one.
I kicked again, and I think just the very tip of my foot hit his leg and broke it.
Thank you and congrats.
All right, now we have Alex Pereira, the reigning UFC light heavyweight champ. A lot of people are talking about him because he got a broken foot during his last fight, the one where he knocked out Magomed Ankalaev at UFC 320. If you watched the fight, you saw Pereira throwing those crazy strong calf kicks, and it turns out that's how he got hurt. So what do most fighters do when the UFC docs tell them to wear a boot for 6 weeks? They usually listen, but Pereira said nope, not doing it. In interviews, he laughed and said he got second opinions. The UFC medical staff wanted him to keep the boot on so his foot would heal, but Pereira worried it might make his muscles weaker instead. He said, "If I wear the boot too long, my foot will get even more stiff and harder to move, but I can handle the pain." He's ignoring that official medical advice, choosing to trust his own instincts and the advice of other experts he met. He's been sparring and keeping up with training so his foot doesn't get atrophic. That's when your muscles kind of shrink because you're not using them. Pereira thinks he'll be ready to fight again in early or mid-2026, and the big dream match everyone is talking about is him against Jon Jones at the UFC White House event. Fingers crossed he'll be fully recovered. What I like most about his story is how he never gives up. Even with his foot messed up, Pereira wants to stay active. He knows what it feels like to fight with injuries. In his past matches, he pushed through all kinds of pain. This time, he's trying hard to heal in his own way, but not fall behind on skills and strength. He's also pretty open about learning from mistakes. He said he's made mistakes when he rushed his recovery before, and he doesn't want to mess up again. So, if you're a Pereira fan, you probably already know he's focused on coming back for a huge fight, not just any fight. With Jon Jones still king of the heavyweight division, a matchup between these two powerhouses will be something everyone will talk about way before it even happens.
There's plenty more going on in UFC, but these 3 stories are the ones everyone is talking about right now. With Oliveira and Holloway looking to set up a rematch after years of drama, the tension couldn't be higher. If the fight gets booked for March, there will be tons of hype, predictions, and maybe even some more trash talk between the fighters. Tom Aspinall and his teammate Ante Delija has shown how unpredictable UFC fights can be. After a wild KO and some controversy, Delija will likely train harder for the next battle. And maybe the UFC will look at changing the rules around stoppages and eye pokes to keep things fair for everyone. Alex Pereira kind of broke the rules by ignoring UFC's advice, but every fighter is different. He's doing what he thinks will help him recover faster and stay in shape for the big fights in the future. With such a big personality and strong willpower, there's no doubt that Pereira is determined to stay champ for a long time. So that's where things stand as of today. A lot can change as new announcements come out. I'll keep you guys updated on each story. Let me know in the comments which rivalry or fighter you're most excited about right now. Thanks for hanging out with me. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the latest UFC news.